Hello, little one. Come close, and let's listen to a story about a boy named Isaac. Isaac was a special boy, a promise come true for his mummy, Sarah, and his daddy, Abraham. He was their miracle, the son they had waited for so long. Isaac's world was filled with sunshine and the warm, safe feeling of his father's arms. He loved Abraham with his whole heart. He knew deep down that his father loved him more than all the stars in the sky. He trusted his daddy completely because Abraham was always kind, always gentle, and always kept his promises. Isaac's days were happy, filled with the simple joys of a boy who knew he was deeply cherished. One morning the sun woke up, just like it always did, painting the sky with soft pinks and oranges, but this morning felt different. Abraham woke Isaac up very early while the world was still quiet and sleepy. He said, "My son, we are going on a journey. Just you and me. We are going to a special mountain that God will show us, and we will worship him there." Isaac's heart gave a little leap of excitement. A journey with his daddy. What an adventure. He loved spending time with his father, learning how to care for the sheep. So Isaac got ready, his heart thumping with anticipation. He watched as his father gathered the wood for the offering and saddled their donkey. There was something quiet about his father this morning, a stillness he couldn't quite understand. Abraham's voice was soft, but his eyes seemed to be looking far away at something only he could see. Isaac didn't ask why. He just trusted. He held his father's hand, his small fingers wrapped tightly around his father's strong ones. The journey felt important and a little bit mysterious. He looked up at his father's face, trying to read the story written there. He felt the gentle rhythm of the donkey's steps and heard the soft crunch of their sandals on the dusty path. For now, it was enough to be with his daddy, walking side by side into a new day, towards a mountain that God himself had chosen just for them. For 3 whole days they walked. He saw lizards skittering over rocks, their tiny feet making almost no sound. He heard the whisper of the wind as it danced through the tall, dry grasses, telling secrets to the earth. At night, his father would build a small fire, and the flames would flicker and pop, sending sparks up to meet the stars. Isaac would look up at the endless black sky, sprinkled with more stars than he could ever count, and he would feel very small, but also very safe, tucked in close to his father. As they got closer to the mountains, the ground started to slope upwards. The path became rocky and steep, and Isaac had to watch his feet carefully. His legs began to feel a little tired, but his father's presence gave him strength. Abraham walked with a steady pace, his eyes fixed on the peak that God had shown him in his heart. On the 3rd day, Abraham stopped. "This is the place," he said. He told the servants who had come with them to wait at the bottom with the donkey. "The boy and I," Abraham said, "will go up there to worship, and then we will come back to you." He gathered stones and carefully built an altar, a special table for their offering to God. He helped his father, placing the wood they had carried on top of the stone altar, arranging it just right. Isaac felt the weight of the wood on his back. The fire and the wood are here, but where is the lamb for the burnt offering? Abraham's heart felt like it might break. How could he explain to his precious boy what God had asked him to do? He reached out and placed a hand on Isaac's shoulder, a touch that was both strong and gentle. He believed that God was good, even when his plans were hard to understand. He knew God would provide. "God himself will provide the lamb for the burnt offering, my son." And in that moment, Isaac felt a wave of calm wash over him. He trusted his father, and he trusted the God his father trusted. He nodded, and together they continued their walk up the mountain, the question answered, but the mystery still hanging in the still mountain air. When they reached the very top of the mountain, the whole world seemed to spread out beneath them. He gently took his son's hands and began to tie them. A cold knot of fear tightened in Isaac's stomach. This wasn't right. Abraham picked up the knife. His hand was trembling. This was the hardest thing he had ever had to do. Isaac remembered his father's words, "God will provide." He closed his eyes and chose to trust.
And just then, in that very second, a voice boomed from the heavens, "Abraham, Abraham, do not lay a hand on the boy, do not do anything to him.
Abraham dropped the knife and it clattered on the rocks. He rushed to Isaac, his hands fumbling with the ropes. He untying his precious boy. He hugged him so tightly, burying his face in Isaac's hair, and they both cried. Just then, Abraham looked up and saw something caught in a nearby thicket. It was a ram, a big male sheep with its horns tangled in the branches. It was the offering God had provided, just as Abraham had promised. They worked together to free the animal. They offered the ram on the altar, their hearts overflowing with praise for God. Abraham gave that special place a new name. He called it, "The Lord Will Provide." As they walked back down the mountain, hand in hand, Isaac felt different. He was still the same boy, but something inside him had changed forever. And that, dear child, is a promise for you too. You are loved, you are cherished, and He will always, always provide. Remember Isaac when you are afraid. Trust, because God's love is a strong hand to hold in the dark.